I'm just this whole thing. It's so bad. It's Hello and welcome to Fuck Your Opinion. This is a movie review show with yours truly, Sean. Today I watched the checks notes god awful mess that is Thunder Force. Dear God. Okay, folks, I was about to give some dramatic, like, oh dear God. But like here's I want to be as honest and truthful with you guys and give my genuine reaction as opposed to something overblown. And here's how I'm feeling. I said to myself, okay, this is going to be great for this show because it looks awful. The trailer looks awful. This is not going to be a good movie. I can't wait to watch it and shit on it, right? Then I am watching it Friday night. I get not 30 seconds into it and I go, oh, Jesus Christ, this is even worse than I expected. This is worse than I could have possibly imagined. Again, 30 seconds into the movie, and I think in the first 18 minutes, basically everything before Melissa McCarthy going to actually reunite you with her friend, I probably paused the movie like 2 or 3 times. Then that night I said, fuck this. This movie is so bad. It is so bad. I turned it off and then was dreading getting back to it today. I got back to it again. Took me like 3 or 4 times to finish it. And this is a regular length movie. It's an hour and 40 minutes. And it is just the worst. It is one of the worst things I have ever seen. And I cannot. How is this number one on Netflix right now? Why are people watching this? I have nothing against Melissa McCarthy. I think when she's good, she's good. But as many people have noted in the past, she should not be working with her husband, Ben Falcone. I don't know if he's done any movies or if he's directed any movies without her, but the movies he's done with her are so like actually, you know what? I'm not gonna I was gonna say I was gonna criticize them, but they look so thing is they look terrible, so I don't even bother. So now that I bother for the show, I'm like, Jesus, again, I can't. It's one of those things that is just so astoundingly bad that you almost don't know what to make fun of, or you don't know what. It's like it's not even worth your effort because at the end of the day, the reason why this movie is bad more than anything else, it's not that it's misguided. It's more not that it's dumb. It's that it's incredibly, incredibly lazy. And that's probably what's most infuriating. It's not that it's bad jokes. It's not that it's like lowbrow, silly jokes. It's just, it doesn't try. It doesn't try. It's like, this is the first draft. They said, fuck it. We're going to shoot it in like 30 days. It is infuriating. It is so infuriating that we live in a day and age where, this is supposed to be a superhero comedy parody kind of type thing. We have so much superhero content. You just need to watch one superhero movie and get the gist of what modern day superhero movies are, right? This is like, we know superhero movies are popular right now. Let's do what we think superhero movies are. And that is some kind of like very outdated, very misguided and old. It's like it is coming out 2003. If this was the 2003 movie, it would still be bad, but it would be understandable. For 2021, it just, I do not understand how you just bypassed all other superhero stuff. And also, just now that I'm in the superhero aspect of it, this world is so not thought out. And again, that's going back to the lazy aspect. It is just not thought out. It basically says, okay, some people in the 80s got superpowers from this thing, and now there's just supervillains, I guess. And that's it. I don't even need the most well thought out powers. Granted, they went with literally the laziest powers possible: super strength, invisibility, and like laser zaps. Also, small thing. One of the bad guys is named Laser. She's named Laser. What the fuck? Lazy, lazy, lazy. I'm just gonna keep saying that. And if anyone involved in the film is like, I worked really hard, I'm sorry. It doesn't it I know that people will often say, even the bad ones, you work really hard, you try really hard. And I just do not see that here. I don't see it, and it's maddening. I'm so mad. I'm so mad that I fucking watched the shit. God! Because the thing is, the world is just not, again, with the world not being thought out, the logic of how the villains operate in this world and who they are and this miscreants and everything honestly just doesn't make sense. And going with what I was saying before, where we live in this superhero world where we know how things work, Marvel operates in a world where they understand superheroes, they have a perspective. DC has a perspective, but even the superhero kind of like parody or critique shows like The Boys, there's just so many other superhero worlds that we have an idea of different versions of what if superheroes exist in real life. And this kind of just says they're here, they're annoying, they're off to the side, but they're not really integrated into society. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, like, even a world perspective, it doesn't even make any sense. And I'm not even getting into the big things. That's just the overall, like, you didn't give a fuck. This movie gives a fuck like Octavia Spencer gives a fuck, which is to say, you have this Oscar winning, extremely talented actress. She is phenomenal. And yet, not only is she wasted here, but it very much feels like she's just going through the routine of like, I am here to collect my Netflix paycheck, and that is it. Now, maybe she had other reasons. Many times people will say, I did it for my kids. I did it, she could say, for representation or something, or like, oh, I would never normally get a superhero part. And you know what, Octavia Spencer, that's a reason I understand. I understand why you're in this. And I'm not gonna go hard on you, even though again, your performance was like very so-so, but I understand why you would have done that. Melissa McCarthy, what the fuck are you doing? I know this is your shtick, but please, for the love of God, you're more talented than this. You're both more talented than this. Oh God, Bobby Cannavale is also so much better than this. Why is he just doing the bad guy shtick now? Come on, and he's such a terrible bad guy. He is so terrible, and I don't mean like, oh man, he's sniveling. He doesn't make any sense. He literally calls himself the king. I mean, he's running for a mayoral race and he calls himself the king. Have you ever in your life seen anyone with a name the king on your election, on your ballot, and said, this is a guy I should vote for? Isn't the king the opposite of democracy? Isn't that what we left England for? So why would we elect somebody named the king? I know that there are nicknames when you're doing some people like that Rocky guy or whatever. You just wouldn't vote for somebody named the king. It doesn't make any sense. Also, a million things going on with this one stupid character. He kills like all of his henchmen, and it's a running joke. Why do you kill your henchmen? There's no point to it. It's stupid. The first time he does it, I'm like, why did you need to kill that guy? He's your guy. You hired him. You paid for him. It's literally the movie trope of I'm so bad because I kill people, right? But then he later kills other henchmen, and it's supposed to be funny. And it's never funny. It's just like, you're so stupid. Why would you just kill your guys? You're so stupid. And then going along with him being stupid, he's like, oh, these Thunder Force girls, maybe we should recruit them. So scene prior, we find out like, oh, he's only like one or two scenes earlier in the movie and he's running for election, right? And then scene prior to what I'm about to say is we find out, oh, the bad guys, so Laser and Jason Bateman, are working for him. No shit, he's a big bad guy. Pretty fucking obvious, right? But then right after, he's like, "Oh, let's recruit this Thunder Force." And then he, with Laser, breaks into the Thunder Force building and says like, "Hey, I'm trying to recruit you." Bad recruiting. But the point is, why in the world, if you're trying to on the down low discreetly try and essentially cause havoc in your city with these villains? It's very flawed logic, but let's just go with it. Let's just say, like, okay, I am trying to get elected and I'm trying to say the city right now is a shit show. Please elect me and I will clean up this crime. But you are the one creating the crime. Okay, I understand that plan. But then why on earth would you immediately after, like after we see this, just basically freely admit that, hey, I am the big bad guy. I'm working with the baddies. This is all a lie. Like, it's just so dumb. It's so dumb. There's just there's just so much about this movie that's dumb. And I know I said before, like, oh, I'm not trying to call it dumb. It's just uh, dumb is not the right word. It's just like straight up incompetent. It's incompetent. What else can I get? There's a bit where Melissa McCarthy is like she accidentally injects herself and gets the super soldier serum or whatever you want to call it. And everyone's like, "Why did you do that? Oh my god, you shouldn't have touched anything." Well, first of all, obviously movie trope 101. Don't touch anything. Obviously the person is going to touch something, but why would you have this procedure be so easy to do and the setup and create and, get it essentially kickstarted that some fucking moron off the street can accidentally press a few buttons and accidentally inject herself? I feel like there's got to be so many steps to whatever this procedure is that it wouldn't be that fucking easy. It just wouldn't. It makes no sense. There's a joke about her having side effects. They're like, Melissa McCarthy, you're going to have like constant diarrhea and you're going to have this and that and blah, blah, blah. How do you know the side effects if you've said before, hey, we've never tested on a person. You're the first. This is the first person. This is the only vial. This is the only stuff we got. Also, you don't have a backup. I don't understand why you don't have backups of these things. Octavia Spencer's like, I worked 5 years. I can't get this back. You ruined all my research. You didn't ruin the research. It's not like the research got instantly erased. Puff, bada bing, bada boom. You're just saying that it took 5 years to create this formula, which doesn't really make sense that it would take 5 years to specifically create this vial. I mean, it might have taken years and years to research, but is it really going to take 5 years to create this serum? I would think if you have the research, you can kind of create it again. It might not be instantaneous, but it's not going to be 5 fucking years. I'm just this whole thing. It's so bad. It's on a bright note. Jason Bateman, he was all right. His performance was fine. I enjoy when Jason Bateman is a bit more roguish and a bit more nasty, and I liked his performance here. Was the crab thing funny? No, it was never really funny, but I liked what he was doing with the performance. And I can't believe I'm saying this. It feels very weird to say this. It doesn't make any sense. But I feel kind of offended for his character, for half crab people, because there are so many jokes at his expense where it was like if it was a more real life thing, like if say he was an amputee. Let's just say he's an amputee. He lost his arm and it's a fake arm, right? The specific types of jokes and the equivalents for that would just be so nasty and mean spirited and rude that you can't do it. And I know you're gonna say, oh, Sean, it's crab people, right? That doesn't exist. How can you get offended about that? Sure, I'll give you that. But for a movie that is trying to go the extra mile to be inclusive, and when I say try to go the extra mile, there are numerous scenes where it's just like, oh, we have a gay couple here. Oh, are you guys in a lesbian relationship? Oh, we're okay with inclusivity. And whatever gender you prefer and everything. That's great. That's a great sentiment. The thing is, it is shoehorned in there constantly. It's constantly like, we're going to shove it in because that's how inclusive we are. You know, we love everybody. Like, praise us because we included in this movie, where it's just like, this doesn't count. This is like Enola Holmes. This doesn't count just because you have random girl on the street being like, "Dads, let's get out of here." That doesn't count. That's just pandering. And it's, to be quite frank, insulting when, if you actually did something more authentic and honest, it would be interesting. It's actually funny now that I'm saying it out loud, because here's the thing, and like, if you think about it, every female character, at least every main female character, the main three, there is a question of their sexuality and who they're interested in, right? And then they're like, "Oh, I'm interested in guys." Multiple times. And, to its credit, it doesn't totally shirk it off and be like, "Oh, how could I know?" It says, it's cool one way or another. But the fact that the movie brings each character's sexuality up numerous times and then emphatically stresses, "Hey, we're straight," each time, it's a little, there's something going on there. But I am digressing. I want to end this thing because it is such a shitty movie. 1 out of 10. There's nothing besides Jason Bateman. There's nothing good about this movie. I can't believe how bad this is. It's just, it's stunning. It is stunning how lazy and how incompetent this movie is. And I don't get it. I don't generally get this worked up. I don't generally go like, I'm not going to even finish this. This is not even worth my fucking time. All right. So if you like this review and want to see more, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I also have a podcast in the link in the description. Check it out. And if you don't want to do any of that, if you say, "Sean, you just talk too much. Sean, you digressed all the time. Get to your fucking point. Sean, you're annoying." You know what? Go fuck yourself. Go to some other channel. I don't care. But before you go to the channel, subscribe. Because I need the subscribers. Fuck. I'm so worked up.